Got it.
Okay, thank you, Jack, for being available to speak with me. Hello, all. I have my client and the founder of the Audacious Mind app. Audacious Mind app is advanced personalized meditation app available on App Store, on Apple. And Jack, thank you for talking with me. We just wanted to talk about your experience with Think AI. So tell us, how did you engage ThinkAI?
It's good to be with you, Nish. It's been a really a fun project working with your team. We engaged Think AI. Gosh, it was almost a year ago now, or about a year ago, to build this our MVP for the Audacious Mind app, and there were lots and lots of changes that we made as we went through, and I felt like the team engaged with us to really understand what we needed, responded well to the feedback we needed, but it was and did a little hand holding as well, as it was my first time doing an app, and their support going through all of that was really helpful.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about you and how did you come about this idea, Jack?
Well, about 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And as I was going through the emotional shock of a diagnosis and then treatment, and that, within a month of being diagnosed, I went in and had my left kidney cut out, and then had to go right into chemo. So I was going through this really horrendous cancer journey, and I was trying to meditate through it. And I just had a hard time quieting down a panicked mind. And so I started looking for different kinds of meditation tactics to help me get there. And none of them really met me where I was. When you do a health meditation, they're all like, oh, you're healthy, you're robust, you're vital. And I was standing in front of a mirror with a bald head, no offense, but I had a bald head and a giant scar on my stomach. And I was, exhausted just walking to the bathroom. I did not feel robust and healthy and vital and all that. I felt horrible. And so I really wanted to create a meditation product that met me where I was, but then also could grow with me. As I felt better, it would improve with me and give me a different experience. And so that's what we created, was a meditation app that we have a survey in it that you take a quick survey and tell us where you are. And then we create a personalized meditation experience based on the survey results, what kind of music you want to listen to, and what kind of technology you want to help get you into a meditative state. We brought all that together in a way that is very interactive and allows you to select your own adventure, but also change your adventure as your circumstances change for the better or for the worse.
Got it. So before thinking of an app, did you directly came on app, or was it something else you thought about doing for this meditation? Or was it the idea was the app?
Yeah, the idea was the app. I just couldn't think of any other way aside from creating 17 zillion different tracks that would be then hard for people to go sift through to find the one that really targeted them right now. Is like, let's just make an app and allow people to do a quick survey, and then we'll have the technology do the sifting for them and create that personalized track immediately on the app.
So technology is curating the content for you to calm your mind and grow with you. Right. Okay. So that was the app. Okay, coming back to Think AI, how did you find Think AI?
I'm a management consultant for my day job, and I've got a network of people all over the Southern California market, and one of them said, "You need to talk to Think AI. This is the kind of stuff that they do." So I was just having an offline conversation with them, and is an IT company as well that does more ERP type projects, and they don't do mobile. Originally, I went to them to see if they could do it, and they don't do mobile. So they said, but Think AI is really great. You should check them out. And I did a beauty contest with 3 different providers, actually 4 different providers, and Think AI came out on top.
Excellent. Glad that you found us. So what was a couple of things which you felt change your decision towards Think AI?
One was just talking to you and Dave. I just felt like you guys got what we were trying to do. It felt like you were, and it may be because you're from India and you're more familiar with meditation as a practice in daily life. It's not weird in India. In the US, there's still a very small percentage of people who do meditate. And you guys just really seem to resonate with the vision of what we were trying to do, where we wanted to go with it, and how to make that happen. So that was a big driver for us. Another was obviously cost, but that obviously that probably goes without saying. But another thing that came up was really the fact that you have AI in your name. My vision for this app is probably in the next 1 or 2 generations, we're going to be bringing in some more AI work to create even more robust, personalized experiences for our seekers that use the app for their meditation practice. And so I wanted to have somebody that had some runway ahead of them to grow with us, or to help us grow, that I didn't see that as prevalent with other providers.
Okay, thank you. So one question which covers actually 2 areas. One is before finding a solution provider and after you started working with us. So let's go before, like, what were your challenges to find a company like Think AI or finding other solution provider? What were the challenges you faced?
Well, if you've ever done a Google search for somebody who builds mobile apps, you come up with a lot. There was an ocean full of people out there that do that stuff. And you start scratching below the surface, and a lot of these lists of the 10 best mobile app developers it was an advertisement that was paid for, right? So it really was hard to find credible, trustworthy sources of information. So that's why I really went to my network of people who I knew and trusted and said, okay, who do you know? And so I got a short list of players from my network that all were good. I just think AI came out on top, but it was really hard to sort through all of that just using, the internet is a wealth of information, which is, a good and a bad thing. How do you get from all of that information to a decision point?
Got it. Now, once you found it during the project during the project, what were the challenges you faced?
There were a few sticking points that we had. One was, it was my first app. And so there was a lot of hand-holding that was needed. And I think that at times, I think the team probably assumed that I had more on the ball than I did.
Got it. Okay.
And so there were a few times, we had to do some retooling after we had what we thought was an MVP. We had to do a little retooling because our beta testing came back and said, this user experience is not great. And so we had to go retool that, and that delayed our project. That was, extra investment on our part to rebuild that stuff. And so there was a bit of, I needed more handholding than I got, because I think there were some assumptions that were made that didn't prove true. But I think that there was an opportunity for Think AI to have a stronger point of view around that UX than what we had. And at the same time, there was, on my end, I kind of stood back and said, you know what, they're the experts. they got this. And in reality, it was the experience I was trying to create for my users.
Yeah.
I let go of too much responsibility for that and gave that to somebody who didn't have, my passion, my vision.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who's got that, and I delegated too much of that to Think AI. That in hindsight, I would have and will going forward. And have since then. I've taken more responsibility and more control over that.
Very good point. Okay. Any other challenges?
The other thing was on the project management side. Again, it's my first app, so I don't know the questions to ask. And I did have a conversation with the PM on the project while we were getting close to the beta testing phase to say, look, I don't know. You are a PM for a technology company. You need to step in more. I'm paying for your time because I need somebody who's going to help me drive the project and not just be a checkmark chaser, as I call it. And I've worked with zillions of PMs over the years in my day job. And there are great PMs who really lean in and dive into the details and really sort through the risks and help mitigate the risks and all that. And then there are other PMs who I call them checkmark chasers. Make sure that the tasks that are assigned tasks get assigned and are tracked, and they chase the check marks, make sure that things get done on time. But which is kind of where I was with that PM initially. And once I said, I need you to lean in more, I need you to drive this, I need you to drive your team more effectively. She really did step in and do what, in my opinion, a much stronger job going forward.
Got it. Anything else on the challenges?
Those were really the two big things. Otherwise, I thought that the team did a really good job when we ran into an issue. They would come back with 2 or 3 or 4 options. We would choose one together. They would go work on it. And sometimes they'd come back and say, oh, that one's not working so well. We need to rethink this thing. We had a word cloud that we were trying to put in, and the first version of that didn't look very good. And so we pushed back on it, and Think AI, you guys stood up behind your work and fixed it. So when we did release the word cloud, it did what we needed it to do. So it was, and although those were things, in some cases they slowed down our timeline. In some of those, you guys took care of it. I didn't get charged more because you made a recommendation that didn't pan out and had to go back and do some rework. You guys had the integrity to own that and fix it, rather than say, oh, well, that's a change request. So I very much appreciated that.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about the solution. What did you create?
So it's a meditation app that our whole intent is to meet you where you are in any given moment in time. So we wanted to create an app where we have the ability to personalize the experience for the user. And so there's the first part of that is a survey around 7 different aspects of life that include things like your finances, your career, your relationships, your health, your spirituality, your emotional state, your intellectual. Those are all 7 of those. Your intellectual pursuits. So we have you evaluate yourself basically on a scale of 1 to 5. It doesn't feel that way, but that's what it is. To tell us where you stand on all those. 1, you're in crisis. You just got a diagnosis of cancer like I did, or 5, you're training for a marathon and an Ironman, and good for you. And we then create, from that, we give the verbal soundtrack that helps you go through that journey on that aspect of life in that place where you are. So if you're in crisis because you got a cancer diagnosis, we're not talking about climbing Kilimanjaro. We're talking about accepting that and just being present with that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are climbing Kilimanjaro, we have the pump you up, excited, life is awesome kind of track for that.
Mhm.
From that survey, though, we also allow you to select the kind of music. Do you want to hear, ocean waves crashing? Do you want to hear music? Do you want to hear chants? What kind of music do you want to hear? And then we also have sound technology where, depending on what we play in each ear, we can create a situation where we get both sides of your brain to sync up. So there's not firing randomly, they're syncing up and working together.
Yeah.
And also we then slow that down.
Mhm.
So we have the brain is synced up and slowed down. And by slowing down your brain, we
Yeah.
now make you more suggestible.
Sure.
So that the meditation track that we play in is also having more of an impact on your subconscious mind.
Wow.
And so that's what the app is really all about.
God. Excellent. Yes. So what was the, as a part of engagement with the Think AI what are the impacts or improvement to your organization?
Well, I can't really say there's been much of an improvement because you built my product. It hasn't been improved on yet, but you gave us something to work with, something to provide for our seekers in their journey. Our business is built on the back of what you created.
Excellent, and congratulations on launching the app. Many times, a lot of founders start and don't see to the end. So that itself is a great persistence and great work there. So we are happy to be part of your journey. Would you recommend Think AI to your friends or other organizations?
Absolutely. In fact, we already have. I had a couple of people come to me now saying, "I know you're building an app. Who are you working with?" And so I've had the opportunity to make that recommendation.
Excellent. Thanks, Jack. Any final parting thoughts?
No, I guess, well, one is, the Think AI team has been really great to work with. It's been very collaborative. A lot of times when you get in this space, you get people who are a little too technical and are very wedded to their solution. And the team that worked on our app, when they brought us a solution and we gave them some critical feedback, they never argued with us. They explained a few things a few times so that we got their point of view more clearly, but I never felt like they were arguing with us. And when it came right down to it and I said no, they took no as an answer and would go find a better solution. And that was the thing that I was most concerned about going into this kind of a project, was making sure that I could deliver something to my subscribers that measured up to the vision and the values that I wanted my business to be about. And I feel like Think AI really supported that. Excellent.
I'm glad that we could. With that, I'll wrap up. Thanks, Jack, for your time. When people want to download your app, how should they search on Apple iOS?
Well, it's on Apple and Android, and just search for Audacious Mind. That's where it is. You can also find us on social at My Audacious Mind on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, which you guys also set up for us, is audaciousmind.com.
Perfect. I didn't log into Android version because I have iOS, but great. Okay, this is good to know that this is live on both the environment. With that, congratulations, Jack, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for your hard work.
Thanks.